take us through the process of choosing to transfer, and it came together pretty quickly for you?
Yeah, man. So going into spring last year, decided to thug it out, see if it was the right spot for me at Cal. Had a good spring, but I just felt like it was time to move on. Had a good time at Cal, good experience, and I just really wanted to grow as a player. So I decided to take a look at some other schools, some other options, and enter the portal. And I really kind of had my mind made up. It was between here and Georgia. So, uh, I talked to the coaches once I was in the portal, and it went down fairly quickly. Just felt like a good spot for me here.
What stood out about OU during that process? Why was it OU over Georgia?
Getting to play with John Mateer. I think they have something good going on. This offense is very familiar. I played against Arbuckle in his offense at Wazoo when I was at Cal, and so uh, I was just familiar with what he has going on, and so I thought it was a good place.
Jim Nagy mentioned that he was studying you when he was with, the pro game and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know anything about him, or did that have anything to do with you coming to OU?
No, to be honest, I didn't know. I didn't find out until later that he had made a tweet or something about me earlier on. And, yeah, but no, I wasn't familiar with that, and it didn't have really any impact in making a decision.
How's your ankle now?
Ankle's doing great. Yeah, last year was a little bit mishandled. You know, Probably should have sat out a couple weeks and then been better off for the rest of the season. But just my mindset and wanting to play and be there for my team, especially being a leader at Cal. I wanted to be there for my guys, but I definitely could have handled that a little differently looking back.
You mentioned OU and Georgia, both SEC teams. How important was the SEC aspect of it in terms of being able to show your skills against the very best?
Yeah, I mean, that was fairly important as well. I mean, SEC football, it's like the biggest stage. And I just can't wait to play this type of competition, man. Like, you see the type of guys that go into the draft every single year from the SEC, and I just want to be able to prove myself, that I can hang with these dudes in the SEC. And that at the end of the day, football is just football.
For those who haven't seen you play, what's your style? What's your running style? What do you like?
My style, man, I just like to get in the open space, man. And once I see that green, I get to high stepping. You know, love to run the ball and then also get out wide. I feel like Arbuckle's implementing a couple things into the playbook this year to get me lined up at slot and wide out. So that'll be fun.
Jaydn, as a guy that wasn't here in the spring, how did your handle of the offense going, and how's John maybe kind of helping with that, just because of his history with?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, John played a big part in my decision coming here, as well as my familiarity with Arbuckle and his system. So coming in, it was fairly easy to get a hold of, all the concepts and his playbook. I mean, me when I first came in, or before I even got here, honestly, we were going on Zoom, watching film, and going over the playbooks and taking a bunch of notes and making sure I had it all down packed before I even got here. So it was pretty easy.
What's been your relationship like with DeMarco?
Yeah, the relationship with DeMarco's been good. It's really an honor to play underneath him, and learn so much. I'm just picking his brain as much as I can every day and really taking everything he says and trying to implement those things into my game.
Brett said that Jamonte's had a real big hand in kind of helping you get acclimated. What's that been like, just to have him kind of help lead you through everything, after arriving here mid-year?
Yeah, no, Deuce has been very helpful. Sorry, I call him Deuce. But Deuce has been very helpful and helped me getting acclimated here. Helping me with the playbook and any questions I have. And it's been great to work with him over the summer during summer workouts. He's one of the hardest workers on the team, and I always find myself next to him trying to push myself to get better and also push him.
How does that competition in the running back room drive you?
Yeah, it's very healthy competition, man. Like I said, Deuce is a baller, and he's very athletic. He's a specimen, so he pushes me every day to get better. In the film room, as well as out on the field during workouts and stuff.
Or some NFL running backs that you looked up to as you were growing up, or maybe some guys that you took different aspects from and emulated?
Yeah, running backs I looked up to growing up were Barry Sanders, but more during my time, Adrian Peterson and Marshawn Lynch. Um, yeah.
Did you ever get to spend any time around Marshawn when you were at Cal?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with him. He was very helpful with me at Cal. Sometimes I sit down with him after a game and, watch film and hang out with him when I'll go to Vegas. Uh, yeah, he's great. He's a great mentor. I still talk to him to this day and, just pick his brain as well.
What's the biggest piece of advice or lesson that you've been able to take away from him?
You know him, he's real. And so he's just always said some real stuff like, you've heard that one interview run through in my face. So, yeah.
What are your impressions of the other guys in the room, like Taylor and Xavier?
Yeah, the room's really good. They bring a lot of versatility. Xavier Robinson, he's a big dude, but he can move. And watching his film from last year, like those guys have put a lot of good things on tape. And I'm just excited to, go to practice and take different things from their game as well to try and implement into mine.
Given that you got here mid-year, how important is fall camp going to be just to get yourself as acclimated as possible before the game starts?
Yeah, it's very important to get involved with the team, get involved with my O-line, and see how they communicate in pass protection as well as in the run game, and just be on the same page with everybody to get our chemistry up. This is going to be a big fall camp. We got a month until our first game, so do as much as I can with my O-line and with the other running backs to sit in the film room and just, build that chemistry.